Now that we've learned how to filter and that we've learned how to sculpt, how about now we learn how to brighten? Like everything with Demi, we are always going to be using color science. So whatever color that we're dealing with, we're always going to want to use the opposite on the color wheel. So I've gone through and I've filtered the excess color. So I don't find there's anything really on my face that's too distracting. I've also gone through and I have sculpted my face. So my face is very balanced for the most part. But now I want to add a little bit of pop. I want to brighten some areas. First, let me say that it is always better when brightening to look at the spots really carefully and determine if there is any excess color. You can brighten the whole area with your wash brush, which is going to be a general brightening. Sure, you can do that. But if there is an excess of color in there, it's always better to get it with the spot brush so that you can address that one specific area and then brighten, because then it will last all day. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at my face. By now, I think we've got that down, right? I want to brighten this area right here. First, I wanna look and see, is there any excess color there that maybe should be addressed by itself? And I'm gonna say yes, there is, right here. If I put a general wash over that area, that is not the same color as this. So I really do want to address that first. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my spot brush, my tiny little brush, and I'm going to look at the area. I'm going to ask myself, is it excessively dark? Yes, it is excessively dark. Is it excessively saturated? It's not excessively saturated, but there is some saturation. It's got a little bit of violet in it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the opposite color on the color wheel, and I'm going to use a yellowish orange on that spot. So I got rid of the darkest point, but there's still some darkness around here. So I wanna look at it. To me, it looks pretty muddy, which means it's gonna be in the green family. So I'm gonna hit that with a little bit of red. And do you see how that brightened that area right up? I could go further with it if I wanted to, but for now, just for time's sake, I'm gonna leave that be. Now, I want to brighten this whole area right here. So I have to look at the color, right? So we're looking at this color right here. Remember, my face, if you're looking at it and asking yourself these colors, is it excessively dark? Is it excessively saturated? My face is generally in the middle. It's muddy, so it is generally green. But right here, it is brighter. So it's more of a yellowish green, which means I'm going to be using a purplish pink to brighten. Right here, we've got VR1. It's a violet red, and that's gonna be for my yellowish green area. I'm gonna take the wash brush and I'm just gonna sweep that on the top of my cheekbone, and I'm gonna bring it up onto the top of my eyelid, and just see how that gave it a nice little pop right there. And it goes over here. This is kind of standing out. See how this now flows? Now I could get a different color right here and just go to my R1 for that area, and it will make it flow even more. So let's go to the other side. So I'm gonna take my wash brush. Again, I'm gonna look right here. This is actually a little more yellow than this side was. So I'm gonna take it, instead of the VR, violet red, I'm gonna do RV, reddish violet, because it's more yellow than it is green. So I'm going right here on the top. And see how that just, it brightens it, but it makes it go. And now I'm gonna hit this part with just my R1. And now it's flowing nicely. So now we're gonna do down the center of my nose. Now, if you have freckles, it is best to address those specific freckles with your spot brush. You can do a general wash. You can just put a solid color down the center of your nose if you want to be quick. Or you can go through and just take care of the freckles. So I'm going to look at my freckles that are standing out or that are dulling this area. So I've got this guy, he's creeping into my highlight area. This guy, this guy. So I'm going to address them. We know that they're green, so I'm going to use pink. So now I can look at it and decide, do I want a general wash or is that good enough? I think I do want a little bit of brightening right in here. So I'm just gonna do a wash right there. I know it's green, so I'm gonna use a pink color and it's just gonna brighten that up just a little bit. There we go. Now if I wanted to do a general brightness on my chin, again, I have to look at the color. It has a little bit of purple to it, so I'm gonna do a yellowish orange right there, just to brighten it. And then if I wanted to brighten this area right here, it's a yellowish green, so I'm gonna go into my VR here just to add some brightness. So that's how you can do a general wash of brightness to give yourself some highlight area, or you can do specific spots to brighten as well.